Welcome back. Welcome back. It is Below the Rim Podcast, BLR, to the world. I am your host, Jordan Johnson-Hinds. Man, it's been a minute since we've been on, about a month. Haley and I, we were at the picket lines today. SAG after strong, you know what I'm saying? And we were getting it. But it's been a minute since you've been on the pod. But tonight we're super excited. We have a crazy cool panel. First off, shout outs to Franklyn, Phillip in the cut, editing. His little one was born just a few, I think a month and a half ago. So we just want to say blessings to you, sir. But we have Anna Prieto on the pod tonight, and we have Lester Harris on the podcast tonight. And I believe, I think Allan, we have another podcaster today. His phone's not working. Anyways, but yeah, without further ado, we just want to introduce our guests today. I don't want to do it. Please take the floor and introduce yourself to our viewers, what you do, and why you're here and why you're so cool.
Ladies first.
Oh, thank you, Lester. And thank you, Jordan, for having me on here tonight. My name is Anna Prieto. I am the Breathwork Life Coach. And so one of the many things that I do is I work with clients to take them into psychedelic spaces without drugs. So basically teaching you how to feel like you're on acid or feel like you're on mushrooms, but just using the breath. I also like to take clients through ice bath experiences, so deliberate cold exposure. I do retreats and all kinds of really fun stuff. But those are my two favorite things to do, is take people through breath work and ice bath experiences.
Wow.
That sounds pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool. Like, who knew you could get high for free just breathing different?
Well, that's a difference. I do take people to get high also.
Just in a different way.
In a different way. I'm actually fly airplanes. Right now, I'm flying a Citation XLS small jet airplane. Carries about 8 people, usually carrying your favorite friends, and take them to destinations they enjoy. Just came back from Provo, Utah last weekend, and just traveling around the country, just doing that, taking people to, similar to Anna, to breathtaking experiences. Hopefully it ain't too much ice cold shock theory.
So essentially you're being humble. You fly private jets.
Yes.
Well, I do want to say thank you both for hopping on the pod. This is honestly, my dad told me, he was like, Jordan, you got to get professional people on the podcast so we can learn. And today we want to learn, but perfect timing. My man, Allan, this is family right here. Okay. I don't want to, all right. You know the saying, it says, say it twice. So I know you meant it. I've been manifesting flying private so I can fly to different cities with my family and the pets. And I got another family member who is also Allan. Tell them what do you do, sir?
Yeah, I'm a pilot. I'm a private jet pilot.
There you go.
Yeah, I've been flying private since 2016. Started my career right out of high school.
Can you give the people a little bit about, and that was so, I'm sorry, I got excited. Can you introduce yourself first and foremost? It's just where you came in on the conversation. It was like right on cue. So I was like,
oh, wow.
You'll see in the edit, a little info, a little bio, blurb about, who you are, where you're from, and how cool what you're doing in the country that you're doing and how rare it is. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So my name's Allan. I'm from Toronto, Canada. And from high school, no, actually from before that, because my mom worked at the airport from when I was like 7. And she would take us on trips to Trinidad, where my grandparents and aunts and uncles are and stuff like that yearly. So that's kind of what gave me the bug. But essentially, I went to school, high school, and took the careers course that's mandatory. And my number 1 choice was dentist. Number 2 was pilot. and like figured out quickly that I did not want to be in school for 10 years plus to get through dentistry school and all the undergrad and stuff like that. So went with pilot. My parents were, my father told me that he didn't want to hinder me from achieving something that he knew nothing about, but still, he said, go do your thing. So I went to school I took a professional pilot program in college. And yeah, the rest, well, no, the rest isn't history. It was a rough go. Just getting through the course and getting all the licenses and endorsements and stuff like that, from private license to commercial license, and then getting all the ratings on top of that. But yeah, it was a bit of a upward battle, and
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's yeah, definitely not a lot of people of color doing it, and I aspired early on to fly privately, but I thought that the traditional route would make more sense, just going to the airlines first. But I fell backwards into a position that allowed me to start doing it from the jump. So I, started flying jets and flying all over North America for now, the Caribbean, Mexico, and yeah, having fun.
Wow. That's
I don't know if I
incredible.
covered all your questions. I should have written them all down. But yeah.
That's and again, I'm just honored that the excellence in this podcast right now. I get to be here, witnessing this for the first time. So I just want to thank you, Allan, for being here. Lester, again, thank you for being here. But Anna, I want to come to you real quick. So Haley, you're from Tulsa, Oklahoma. You and Haley are good friends, and when we were in Oklahoma for the holidays, you had the whole family do breath work. We did an ice bath. Can you tell us and explain again a little further about a day in the life of what you do and how you're inspiring people? Because health is wealth. We want to be healthy, and we want to spread that knowledge to people so we can live a little longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, health is a currency that a lot of us, especially here in Western culture and in America, like we just don't have a lot of that. And it feels really hard and really unachievable and really unattainable for a lot of people to find quick and easy ways to optimize health. So that is what I do, is I teach people how to optimize healthy living, get rid of anxiety, get rid of insomnia, get rid of the things that are really holding them back from living a life full of passion and purpose. Like, it actually is possible for you to wake up fully rested, like so ready for the day that you like backflip out of bed and cartwheel into whatever it is. But most of us wake up and it's like, oh, I better get
take 15 minutes. I need my coffee. Right.
Yeah. And so part of what I do is take people through this experience of breath work and ice bath. So what you experienced in Jordan with Haley and your guys' family is we did about 30 to 45 minutes of a psychedelic breath work. There's a lot of different names for this kind of style. It could be called holotropic or Wim Hof or Tumo, but basically it's like a super ventilation. So what happens during this process is the veins are actually dilating. So you have vasodilation, which basically just means everything in the body is like pumping and going.
Wow.
And so people describe that sensation in different ways. They might say, I feel itchy, I feel tingly, I feel hot, I feel ready, like I feel lightning shooting out of my finger. Like, I've heard it all, like really interesting. But what they're feeling is the blood pumping through their veins. And you kind of like come out of that like, oh, I think I feel like a baby Hulk. And so then you go straight from there into the ice bath, extreme vasoconstriction. So you're getting like the best of both worlds, is like extreme primitive muscle vascular training for your entire body. You come out of the ice bath, you've got about a 450 to 530% increase in adrenaline, depending on which studies you look at. You've got a 230% increase in dopamine, increase in testosterone. I mean, it's like breathwork and ice bath combination is like better than sex. I mean, not really, because you're not going to get the serotonin and the oxytocin, but as far as raising your baseline dopamine levels. There is nothing on planet Earth, or any other planet for that matter, that raises your baseline dopamine. You literally get out of the tub a happier person than when you got in.
And I can attest to that, because like after I do it, before you go in, the mind, you got to, get past the mind. And then the moment you do it and you get out, you feel invigorated, if that's the right word. You just feel so enthused and ready to just take on, life and go and do the thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Jordan, cool. Are you excited because you got out of the cold water?
Lester, I wanna ask you. Okay, so what was your path similar to Allan's? Was it difficult? Because I know you flew for Southwest for a while, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So you're okay. So first off, where are you right now in the world?
I'm in London right now.
London, England. And where are you normally based?
Chicago.
Okay, go ahead.
Nice.
Go ahead. Yeah. So
and I'm here in London visiting my daughter. So,
okay. And was your path? Was your path to flying? Was it like an easy one? Because I know coming back to LA, growing up, Ernie used to say, my brother Lester flying. It was so cool to hear that. You know what I mean?
As far as no, it's not easy. Wow. It's a lot of times, especially being a pathfinder, one of the few early ones, you seek out others to help you, and that's the only way I was able to succeed. Was actually getting other people to help me to do better. And you don't know, you will make mistakes going through it, so it's good to reach back to others and help them going through.
Wow.
And as far as are you prepared educationally, you don't know what to be prepared for. You hear you need a lot of math, you need a lot of things, and you don't know what level of math you need, what level of science do you need. So a lot of things you're not prepared for, and it's all new. Even when you're going through your studying for check rides and stuff, it gets easier. But
what's that, Allan?
No, I'm just agreeing because he said a swear word just now. Check rides. I hate those.
Can you talk about that? So when you go into the plane, what's the first thing? You obviously have to do your safety checks, right? That's like common sense. But what is go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the most challenging thing, like flying? Because they say sometimes actual like cruising, or when you're actually in the air, is the easiest.
Yeah. I mean, Lester, you can attest to this, but I mean, realistically, at the end of the day, like from start of the getting to the airport or getting to the airplane, yeah, you're doing your walk around, you're running through your checklists, you're checking all your systems, making sure you have enough fuel, planning for your flights if you haven't already done that. Like on a private side, we do all of that ourselves. But
whoa, pause. So because it's private, the pilot does the checks, but you guys do the checks by yourselves. There's not like a.
When I say checks, I mean like planning. Planning we do ourselves. I know with the airlines, like Lester, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys get packages like for your weather.
Exactly, weather. Whereas on the private side, which I'm doing now also, where he's correct about, Allan's correct when he says he has to do all the work. He has to, and the biggest thing you want to do before you go flying is get your head right. And so you know what the weather's going to be like, know what your day's going to be like, and knowing you got to be everything. You got to control the front and the back of the airplane. And so that's the type of situation. So you have to be mentally prepared to take on whatever comes. And it's easy when nothing's going wrong, but something always will happen, whether it be weather, mechanical, avionics, or recently, I don't know if you just heard about those two planes out there at Hobby Houston that actually had a bang where they collided into each other. Maybe like a day or two ago. Just got to make sure I got my days right being over here in London. But it recently just happened. Two small airplanes collided. Houston Hobby Airport, which is one of Southwest's big things. So all of a sudden, planes were delayed crazy. and so now your whole day is shot. Now you got
Yeah.
a 3-hour delay in the middle of your day, and this happens on private even worse so because you're carrying passengers and they may not show up, or they're late or they're early. So you gotta be prepared for all that.
Is flying private? I've heard that because it weighs a lot less. When you're in the air, it's very easy for the air to get under the plane, so it can be a little more wobbly. Is that true, or is that myth, or is that a bust?
I'll let Allan go with it, but I think it's mostly a myth. I mean, the lighter airplanes do, the smaller ones, yes, they're more susceptible to turbulence, but Mother Nature could rock, just like you said, you could say a little boat or a
Facts.
big boat.
Right. Okay.
So,
Good to know. Anna, I
Just
wanted to
circling back
ask
to
you. Oh, sorry, my bad. We'll edit that out.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
I didn't. I feel like I didn't really answer your question regarding like the challenges, and then I was referring to like what he said, check rides. So airlines, you guys do your annual. You guys do checks every 6 months. Is that right, Lester?
well, it depends, but the company we had a 9-month rotating system.
9 months. Okay. Yeah, we do annual, so every other year. So thankfully, but we do whenever you get like a new type rating, that's like you got to go through your initial ground school, learn all the systems, and then you get into the sim, and then you got to go through all your emergency procedures and all of that. I just did. I upgraded. I was on a citation 550, went up to a 650. And then I did a recurrent on the 650, like back to back. So I did July, I did my initial on the 650, and then I did a recurrent on the 550 the following, like a couple of weeks later. So this summer was just like super busy.
What's recurrent? What's recurrent?
So recurrent is just it's an airplane that you already have what's called a type rating on, and then you just go back to school and then you review everything.
Got it.
Yeah. But your initial, like when you do an actual check ride, an examiner is sitting behind you and they're watching everything that you do. So, and then you're going to get all of the different failures and weird things that don't normally happen on the flight on that, like in the span of maybe like an hour and a half to 2 hours of just everything getting thrown at you and you have to perform, and they're marking and grading you, and you've got to do well enough to get a passing grade essentially. So challenge wise, that I'd say like is number one. I don't like them. But for the day to day, it's the unforeseen stuff, like the client's not showing up, something not working properly, weather, whether it's icing or like if it's wintertime icing, if it's summertime thunderstorms, like all of those different variables make things challenging. But you know, on the mundane, I had a flight today. I flew from here to South Bend, dropped some passengers off.
Where's here?
Game.
Where are you right now?
So I'm in Toronto. Toronto.
Got you.
And I flew 9 passengers to South Bend, Indiana. They're going to watch Notre Dame play a game. I don't know who they're facing, but they're there for the weekend. And then Sunday we go back, we pick them up.
Wow.
And
so you fly the plane back to Toronto to chill out, and then you fly it back?
Yeah, it's a short flight. They they offered for us to like, stay, but we're just like, I did my October was busy for me. I flew from here. I flew my boss and our team to Cabo San Lucas for 5 days, and then from there I went to Vegas for about a week, and then back home. So I was gone for like 11 days.
Wow.
So I my coworker and I were just like, you know what?
Gotta get home.
They were offering us tickets to the game and all this stuff. We're just like, you know what? Nah, we'll just go home. Spend the weekend at home, and then Sunday we'll go fly. It's an hour. We'll just go pick them up and then fly back home.
Wow.
So yeah, uneventful flight. Those are the best ones. We're laughing, chatting, filming, whatever. Just up and down, and that's it. But it's fun. It's fun though.
Wow. I'm coming back to you. Anna. I wanna. Okay, so wow. Great conversation. Shout outs to Below the Rim Podcast tonight. Jordan Johnson-Hinds, Franklyn Sylvester in the cut, Lester Harris, Anna Prieto, I said that correctly, right?
You did.
Oh, okay, all right. And Allan, I love he only has one name. He's like Madonna. So
My bad.
it's all
London's
good.
the
It's all
last
good.
name.
No, it's all good. All right. So Anna, how long have you been an entrepreneurial, like, health person going for that? Going that route. How long have you been an entrepreneur? Yeah. When did you say you wanted to start a business?
Honestly, I never wanted to start a business. That was not my goal. I actually used to work for American Airlines. I worked for American for 6 years. And
you see the connection though, right? Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I was a workaholic, really and truthfully. I mean, I would just gladly work 80, 90 hours a week. And I was really addicted to my work and addicted to my phone and always answering emails. And I worked in the operations center, which is a 24/7 center. And so there were always things coming in. And fortunately, I had a really good life coach and a really good therapist. And one day she was just like, if you keep living like this, you're sleeping 3 to 4 hours a night. Like, you're going to be dead by the time you're 40. And I was like, I'm not even 30 yet, like, at the time.
Yikes.
And she's like, when was the last time you took a vacation? And I was like, I take them all the time. Like, I work for an airline. I'm always on a plane going somewhere. And she was like, when was the last time you took a trip and you didn't take your work phone and you didn't take your work computer? And I was like, why would I want to do that? Like, there would be just so much work to do when I came back.
Right.
And she was like, that's your goal for this year. So that was in 2018. I came home from that trip that I didn't take my work laptop. I didn't take my work computer. And I was like, wow, people do this twice a year?
Whoa.
That's insane. And I told my boss, I was like, listen, it's not you, it's me. I'm quitting.
Gotta go.
And so that was in November of 2018. And less than 30 days later, I had everything I owned in a storage unit. And I was gone a month later after that.
Wow. Where did you go? Didn't you travel somewhere? Weren't you overseas?
Yeah. So I had lived overseas before. I worked for American Airlines. And so I was like, I'm just going to go do that again. Living overseas for me is like the most peaceful thing in the world. And so I just went back. I spent half the year in Thailand and then some time in Colombia. And I just took some time kind of like, maybe I'll go back to the airline. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But it was a really big wake up call for me to just hear, like, you need to sleep. You need to prioritize your health. Like, you need to get your life right where you're focused on you and not work. And so that was what I did for all of 2019. I studied mindfulness and I studied breath work and meditation and movement as medicine and movement as therapy. And they came back to the States and it was like 2020. So it was prime opportunity when everybody was like super stressed out, the most stressed out they've ever been, the most anxious they've ever been, the most depressed they've ever been, the most, sleepless they've ever been. And I was like, wow, I just kind of learned a lot about that and was ready to kind of implement some of the things that I had learned. So I was, in the very beginning, I was like, I am not starting a business. I'm just going to be hosting these things once a week for people to come. And I was like very adamant about like, I'm not starting a business. And then somebody that was kind of helping me market my events, which were like totally donation based. Literally, I was like, the last thing I wanted to do was start a business. He was like, what else would you possibly do like for life after this? Like, do you see like the first time you hosted something, there was 4 people and the next time there was 8 people and the next time there was 16 and the next time there was 32. Like, this is really important. Like, you need to keep doing this. What else would you possibly do with your life? And I was like, oh yeah, I guess, I don't know. I do actually love this and this should be a business.
So Franklyn, it's crazy because the first time I ever did yoga was at Win Fitness in Toronto, and Franklyn, the producer that's editing in the back right now, that was the first time he had gone to yoga. And I was like, I'm still not very flexible, but I'm getting better. And Franklyn was even worse. Now he's been working on it. Now he's a yoga teacher. And he said that he does pranayama.
Pranayama, yeah.
Yes, and he wants to take it to another level. So the fact that you're on the podcast tonight, and it's just crazy how it's all it's all coming together. But I do want to get into sports. It is a sports podcast, so I do want to get into sports. But before we transition to that, there is a game that we like to play. It's called the improv game. And it's just to get people, loosen up a little bit. We have 2 pilots. So I was wondering if you guys can do like a flight simulation type of flight.
I'll make it even more fun. How about this? Since both me and Allan are going to be on the flight, how about we both got to sign the flight and we try and decide who's going to fly the plane? Who's the captain?
Okay, perfect.
And so we're going to show up.
And then Anna and me, we're going to be the clients of the flight. Cool? We're the clients of the flight. Here we go. All right, here we go. And action.
All right. Well, Allan, glad you came aboard to be my first officer. I'll be taking this leg, and you'll be doing everything I tell you to do. I want you to get the clearance. I want to make sure that you make sure with fuel. I want to make sure the catering's right. Also, it's raining outside, so you're also going to be doing the walk around. Are you okay with that?
Oh man, you got me doing everything the most. Wow. I mean, shoot, age before beauty. I respect you. So I know about the walk around. I'll make sure I get my raincoat and whatnot. But where are we going? Actually, that's a good question.
We got to talk to operations. Anna, where are we going? You booked this flight. What happened?
We're actually going to be flying into, let's see. Oh, Austin. Yeah.
No, can't do. Don't like Austin. You got any other?
Below the Rim Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to come right back after this commercial break. That was incredible. We're going to go to Austin. We're going to come right back, and we're going to get into some sports, NFL, NBA, UFC. Take us back. All right, we'll be right back. Below the Rim Podcast, part 2, we want to kind of get everybody's knowledge on sports, fave sports. What are you watching right now? Do you even know anything about sports? Lester, I'll start with you.
Yes, my brother calls me an amateur sports fan because he's obsessed with it. But I do know a little bit about the NFL. I live in Chicago, so we follow the Bears. We're actually on the winning streak. We won 2 games out of the last 14.
Okay, very good.
And I did realize that LeBron James won their first game.
There you go.
So that's a good start for.
Well, no, they lost.
They
lost to Denver, and then they lost to. Right, that's what you said. You're saying they won their first game. Got it.
And then they lost ever since, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds like LA.
Sounds like LA. There we go. And I'll come to you. What sports are you watching? Sports? Do you like sports? Do you even care? Wow.
Here's the thing. I've actually never owned a TV in my entire life.
Wow.
But I like doing. So like I will sign up to go to jujitsu. I will sign up to go to pole dancing. I'll sign up to do acro. Like if I can play it, if I can do it, I'm in. But watching it is less exciting for me.
Got it. So not even going to the pub with some friends and because you don't even drink.
I don't drink, but I would go to a game.
Right.
Like an
live.
Game. Totally.
Got it. Fair enough. Okay. Allan, what do you fave sport? Do you have a fave sport?
Am I frozen?
No, you
frozen.
Nah, man, we can see you.
I'm good?
We can see the handsome face, man. Yeah.
My favorite sport to play or to watch?
Anything. Both. All.
Okay, so I play volleyball. So I play volleyball a couple times a week.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, like
nice.
Out. I don't know if you know, but like in the West, like the Tri-City, like Waterloo, Kitchener, like it's huge. Like a lot of like varsity, college teams and stuff like that. Players will come. I don't know what that noise is. Anyways, they'll come and they'll play. So it's like you're getting some pretty high quality play
players,
and a league, pretty organized. And the team that I play on, there's about 6 or 7 teams, and I'm actually sore because I played on Wednesday. getting old.
No.
Anyways, but I watch basketball. I'm in like a lot 3 fantasy leagues, so I watch ball
Whoa.
intently.
Who's your favorite team?
Football,
Who's your favorite team?
team?
Yeah, I gotta
Ooh,
ask NBA. Who's your favorite team first? Because
who's my
Lester said Chicago
favorite?
Bears.
That's for
That's
football.
football.
There you go.
But for like basketball, um, I don't know if I have a favorite team. Like I'm an enthusiast, so I watch because I draft, so I have like players from all sorts of teams. But I
Who's your
enjoy
top five? Who's your top five?
top 5. I like watching
Draft
Golden
choice.
State. I like
Oh,
watching. I like Phoenix. I like watching. Who's fun to watch? Sacramento's fun to watch.
Yep, I like that team.
Who else is fun to watch?
any
Dallas.
East Coast?
They're a good team. East Coast. Who's on the East Coast? Who's fun to watch?
New
Yeah.
York,
Even know.
Miami.
Yeah, New York's fun to watch with Jalen Brunson. Toronto's
Yeah,
okay
he's
with their
he's
new
good.
Toronto.
coach.
Oh, of course, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Toronto. I mean, that's a soft spot for me only because
Same here. Yeah, I'm from there.
yeah, that's my home team. Um, but yeah, they've got young guys, and I'm hoping that they come through and we make playoffs this year.
Cool. Right
But
on.
yeah.
Anna, what's the biggest thing that you see when when you have a client? Is it stress? Is it relational problems? What do you see most often?
There's really 2 categories that I work with. One is anxiety and the other one is insomnia. So my clients kind of range from, I've worked with cancer patients that are just like, I literally can't sleep because I'm so anxious about this diagnosis, to also a woman who is like, I just retired after working 40 years as a nurse and I don't know what to do with myself. Like, I'm bored and I need to
Wow.
find my new passion in life.
Lester, do you have problems flying? Because I know, Allan, you're saying you don't fly, or Allan doesn't fly international right now with the clients that he's working with. But Lester, you fly international. Do you have problems like sleeping, traveling different time zones?
Well, I don't fly internationally now. And no, I don't really have problems sleeping. I have more problems staying awake. But I blame that on the alcohol.
Oh,
Here we go.
Here we go. Okay, all right. So, Allan, you said you went. Okay, Allan.
So he went to Toronto today, right?
Yeah, he was in Toronto. I was gonna say he had a 3-city flight where he was in Mexico, he was in Colorado, and then he was in what's the craziest schedule that you've had to fly, or the longest, or you can only fly for so many hours, but what's the craziest, like any cool stories?
Longest day that I can think of, where they had us like double dip, where we would take a client somewhere, fly back home, empty or drop someone off, and then go somewhere else.
Wow.
Actually, funny story. Actually, just the other day, I picked up Masai Ujiri.
Oh yes.
Picked him up. Yeah, I picked him up in New York. So we flew from Toronto.
Masai Ujiri is the GM of the Toronto Raptors, the general manager of the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot these guys are local.
Yes.
Yeah, so I picked him up, flew back to Toronto, and then from there, drawing a blank, but we went somewhere else. But those are the types of I'd say the longest. If we're saying longest, I'd say the leg from Cabo to LA. Oh, sorry, not LA. Cabo to Toronto. So we would stop in we stopped in Vegas on our way home this time, but we were there for a few days, and then Vegas to somewhere in Colorado. I can't remember the name of the airport. Just all the airports that I go to try and keep a mental track of everything. It's hard.
Wow. Can I ask a real question, and anyone on the panel can answer? You guys are ambitious. Lester, you fly private jets. You get to see the world. Allan, Anna, you have your own business. You're an entrepreneur. Do you have to deal with people, or at times deal with people that were jealous of your success or your ambitions? And if you haven't, what advice would you give someone that is going down that, pursuit of getting something to be a pilot or have their own business, be a yoga instructor or what have you, an actor, and they go down that path? Any advice to recover or not let that hinder someone or themselves from chasing that dream?
In order to fulfill your dream, just do you.
Facts.
Just continue doing it. The whole idea of other people jealous, I get jealous. And Allan would tell you, when you see a bigger, better airplane, you're like, wow, that's a nice airplane.
Facts. Every time.
Right. It's like a human thing, right? Yeah.
So you just do you. Just make it happen.
Facts.
Fulfill your
I
dreams.
agree.
Amen to that.
I came to this conclusion that competition doesn't really exist if you are in a mindset of collaboration and you just choose not to get bitter, and you just get better instead.
Wow.
Choose
not to get bitter, get better.
Facts.
Wow.
I relish
I'm gonna write that
in
down.
that
Yeah.
statement.
I write it down too.
Yeah. Honestly, because that's that sort of the ability to become put yourself in a place where you're self-aware enough to realize and call it for what it is. If you can look at or hear or listen to someone say something negative to you and instantly not choose to retaliate and or look at it from the perspective that they're just trying to either jab you in a way, but making the conscious choice to choose to be better and instead of bitter in that moment. It's difficult, because you got to have self-control and you got to be self-aware and stuff like that, but you'll just be a happier person when you can just ignore and move on and just kind of keep it moving.
Wow. I don't know what else to say. I mean, you are all amazing, and I'm so honored to have you guys on the podcast. Thank you. But I'm gonna give an update on the actor strike because that's important. Haley and I, we went down to the SAG after strike, and it's crazy because it's day 105, and people are ready to get back to work. So the good news is the executives they met with the negotiating crew for the actors, and the actors sent a counter offer to the executive's offer. So that's a good thing. So if they're not going to come to an agreement tonight, it'll be early next week. So fingers crossed, and we can get back to work and everyone will be good to go. We have residuals covered, insurance covered, and everyone can be happy again. So that's my little actor update. We'll go into the final thoughts. Franklyn, you want to go into the final thoughts? I don't, unless there's anyone else that has anything to say. Lester?
I support union. Well, while you talk about the actor strikes, I do support unions and pay the people what they're worth.
Facts.
Yeah.
And it's not that they cannot pay them. Obviously, when you got executives flying around, i.e., Allan taking the GM back and forth, you could share the wealth. There used to be a time when in this country where we did share the wealth. And the only reason why we have unions is because they don't share the wealth.
Right.
So I support them.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and we appreciate what unions do for everybody. Anna, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah. Can I get you all to do like a 60-second breath work together?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm cool with that. Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to do, I'm going to teach you the perfect breath. So there actually is a perfect way to breathe. It's roughly 5.5 seconds in, roughly 5.5 seconds out. This is one of those like no disclaimers. Like you can do this when you're driving because it's the perfect breath. So what I want you to do, if you are in a place where you're not driving, it's safe to do it. You guys all do this with me. Take your left hand and put it on your heart. So if you ever see like your kid or your cat or your dog get hurt, the first thing we do is like we put ourselves, like we tap ourselves to be like, oh yeah, I'm here, I'm all right, everything's good. So just do that, and then just notice your heartbeat, your heart rate. Is it fast? Is it slow? Is it loud? Is it strong, soft? And then if you want to, you can shut down your eyes and then seal the lips, and then bring the breath in and out the nose. And we're going to do 6 deep breaths together. So we'll start here, push the thumb into the chest and inhale in through the nose. Fill up the belly, fill up the chest, and then exhale out through the nose. Good. Push the first finger into the chest. Same thing again. Fill up the belly, fill up the chest, and let the air fall out of the nose. Good. We're going to repeat that 4 more times. Just noticing what you notice in the body. Push the middle finger into the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Push the ring finger into the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Good. 2 more. Push the pinky finger into the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Push all 5 fingers into the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Smile for no reason at all. And then you can open your eyes.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah, it's a little bit of neuro-linguistic programming mixed with the perfect breath. That's like in any time of day, help you sleep, help you focus. It's good for it all.
Does the pushing the fingers into the body, does that distract the mind so that you breathe better?
It just kind of helps you focus, helps you notice sensation here rather than the things that are going on.
Right. Cool. All right.
I love that. That was
That
nice.
was great.
I like that.
That was great. I won't forget. And it's on the pod, so I get to remind myself, So Allan, any final thoughts that you'd like to partake on the world of the BLR podcast?
No, I'm appreciative of you and inviting me out here, and grateful to meet another jet setter as well, and Lester, and someone blazing trails in your field as well. I can't see her name. I forgot. I'm terrible with names.
Anna.
And Prieto.
Prieto. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, grateful and hopefully they strike a deal for you, Jordan, and you guys can get back to work, because I know some of your coworkers that I love some of the shows, man.
Right.
The shows, I'm dying. I'm waiting for seasons to come back and certain things. So
yeah.
Man.
And I'll say this, one, selfishly and respectfully, by God's grace, I get to fly private. I'm working on that, Lester. You know what I'm saying? That's goals, dreams. Oh my God, we'll edit that out. And then you're right, man. We do want to get back to work, because it's a good time to work on, writing the things now, because nothing's happening. But when it is time, we got to hit the ground running, so to speak. That's that. My final thoughts. I'm excited to see LeBron. I'm excited to see KD. I'm excited to see who in the NBA is going to come out on top. I'm excited to see NFL updates. I got nothing, man. I'm just happy. I'm just happy that we had a really cool panel tonight. Educational, inspiring, uplifting, and to anybody out there that wants to pursue something that is challenging and it's hard, just go for it, because as Lester was saying, just do you, because when you get through the bullshit, sorry for my language, it's so rewarding. And that's why I wanted to have everybody on this podcast tonight, because these are some of the smartest people I know. Anna goes with whenever she's in town in New York, or when Haley's back in Tulsa, Anna motivates Haley to go to the gym, and so we're doing a good thing here. And yeah, just shout outs to everybody that's trying to do something right out there. Below the Rim podcast. I'm gonna shut the heck up. Next time we'll figure out something cool, and we'll have some cool guests. But until then, I'm Jordan.
Lester saying goodbye.
Anna Prieto.
And Allan London signing off.
Thank you. All right, Franklyn, we're out, man.